welcome to the NCC Newsroom at the Newhouse School of Public Communications. I'm Josh Widman.
And I'm Sabrina Majori. This is the third of 5 live streams of Democracy in Action, an annual Election Day project covering voting around Onondaga County. It's run by the Broadcast and Digital Journalism and Newspaper, Magazine, and Online departments of Syracuse University.
Throughout the day, we're bringing you live coverage from dozens of polling places in central New York.
The rain has been coming down this election day, but votes are still being cast. Our NCC's DeAndre Henderson is live at Transfiguration Catholic Church on Teal Avenue with how the voter turnout is over there.
Despite the weather today, in the basement of this church, voting is going on. Now, I spoke with poll workers, and they tell me that generally the location does not get that much traffic, but with the weather the way it was, they're expecting things to be a little bit slower. Polls opened in Onondaga County this morning at 6 a.m. with key races on the ballot, including Onondaga County Executive, District Attorney, and County Comptroller, as well as all 17 Onondaga County Legislature seats. A poll worker told me about 100 voters have cast their ballots by 3 p.m., and they're hoping for about 300 total by 9 o'clock tonight after they start to get off of work. This election is the first for New York State to offer early voting, and one Syracuse woman told me she would rather come in today to cast her vote.
No, and I just knew that I could stop right down the street from my house on the election day, and it was more familiar to me to do it this way.
Stand by, Dre.
There's about 5 hours left for you to come out and get your voices heard by casting your vote. For more information on the ballot, visit diy-cny.syr.edu for more information. In Syracuse, I'm DeAndre Henderson for Democracy in Action.
According to a new election law from earlier this year, New York voters can get up to 3 hours of paid time off at the polls today. The law applies to all part-time and full-time employees in both public and private sectors. Now, if you're just hearing about this, or if you participated in early voting, we have some bad news. You had to notify your boss at least 2 days before the elections. The 3-hour rule can be used at the beginning or end of a shift.
Polls are up and running here in Syracuse thanks to large groups of volunteers who manage the sites. Democracy in Action reporter Cheyenne Nobrega had the opportunity to talk with one local election inspector who is no rookie to the job.
We have a right to vote and we need to express it, and we need to come out and do this so we can have a say.
Election Inspector Elsie Singletary has been working at poll places in Syracuse for 15 years. This year, she is at Faith Heritage School, where she will be working from 5 in the morning to 10 at night. These long hours are worth it in her eyes because she believes voting is an important way for people to speak up and share their voice.
If we don't vote, we don't say nothing. You can't say anything about something you're not doing. See, so you got to have, if you want a right, you got to respect your rights.
Voting isn't the only reason Singletary has been working at polls over the years.
For polling workers here at Faith Heritage School, today is not just about voting, but connecting with others in the community.
Meeting and talking to people is a huge part of a poll worker's job. Greeting voters and showing them to their voting stations is just 2 duties they have on Election Day. Not only do the workers talk with voters, but also with each other. Singletary says getting along with her coworkers and having a good time makes the job easier.
Some of us know each other for years. We've been working with each other for years, and we can even invite the new ones in as well, the newcomers, and we can get along with them because we might work with them again. You know, each time we vote and do our polling place, we have different people, and we have to make it fun because the time and all the time we be here together.
Thank you, Cheyenne. And Central New Yorkers have found a way to push through the storm to make their vote count. Democracy in Action's Sharif King is live at one polling location with why some voters are out today instead of during their early voting period.
Early voting started last week, giving Syracuse natives a head start on their vote. I spoke with a retired veteran, and he said he votes on the same day every year, even with the new early voting dates.
Well, I always vote the same time every year.
You can cast your vote till 9 p.m. here at Peace Inc. on Bassett Street, and we'll be live giving you everything you need at these voting polls. For more information, you can visit dia-cny-syr.edu for more information. Back to you.
Many children here in Central New York may be off from school today, but that doesn't mean they aren't learning about being an active member in their community. The North Syracuse Central School District Administrative Building is one of the many sites for voters, as well as soon-to-be voters. Children are allowed to go vote with their parents across the country. Although they can't actually cast their own ballots, Syracuse mom Mackenzie Hafner says it's never too early to bring your kids to the polls.
To know when they're of age that they really should take the time to do this, and it's part of our life, and you know, they just need to support the people in the community they live in.
And it's not just people who are appearing on voters' ballots today. Syracuse residents are also voting on a proposition that will decide who will draw the political lines that define common council districts in the future.
The time to redraw districts comes after the upcoming 2020 census. Historically, lawmakers have always drawn the lines that decide common council districts, but many fear that this leads to politicians creating districts solely to benefit their respected party.
The common council should have a say in anything that goes on in the city.
Do it once, do it nonpartisan, get it done, and then just move on.
If Proposition 1 passes and Syracuse does make the change, it would be the first city east of the Mississippi to resort to this nonpartisan way of creating district lines.
The Our Lady of Pompeii Church's Spaghetti Lunch is an Election Day tradition, and this year the event is celebrating its 70th anniversary. The lunch is a staple stop for all candidates looking to fuel up with a home-cooked meal before visiting the polling locations. Candidates and community members alike stop by throughout the day for some spaghetti, meatballs, and bread. So we took to Twitter to find out our followers' favorite part about the meal. And it looks like meatballs are the favorite with 50% of the votes. Bread is not too far behind with 36%, and spaghetti coming in last with 14%. If you're wondering where to access election results, it's easier than you might think. Just search Onondaga County Board of Elections online. Be sure to click on ongov.net.
Once there, find the tab labeled Election Results. In the left-hand column, a drop-down will say Current Election Results, and that's what you'll want to select.
This will direct you to another website. Select 2019 General Election. As you can see, nothing is there yet, but you should be able to view the results after polls close tonight at 9.
That's all the time we have for the third Democracy in Action live stream today. From all of us at the Newhouse School, I'm Sabrina Majore.
And I'm Josh Widman. Join us again for updates from the polls at 6 and 8 tonight.